Thank you.
The following is a presentation of DRG Media Group Sports. You're listening to coverage of area high school sports on 1060 KGFX. You can also listen or watch this game online at drgnews.com. Now, here's David Burrow.
Thank you, Chuck, and hi, everyone. Today, the Stanley County Buffaloes back in action after their bye week last week. 2 weeks ago against Dupree at Ole Williamson Field, an offense that had struggled in the first two games didn't. It broke out for nearly 400 yards, 42 points, and a 42-29 victory over Dupree, led in part by the great efforts of Colton Brady and Barrett Schweitzer. Today they'll look for that, and they may need it against a very athletic, very fast Bonham Cavalier team. 2-1 to begin this new season for the second straight season. The Buffs and we have made the trip to Tyndall, to James W. Favlara Stadium at the Homme Athletic Complex, the Stanley County Buffaloes and the Bonham Cavaliers. High school football on 1060 AM and 103.1 FM KGFX is brought to you by Avera St. Mary's Hospital, Yes Way, First Dakota National Bank, Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Pierre Regional Airport, Access Health, Fort Pierre, Fisher Rounds and Associates Insurance and Real Estate, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Ferding Electric, Edgewood Healthcare, and Venture Communications. And these in-game sponsors help bring you high school football here on KGFX. Potsabah Agency, State Farm Insurance, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Montana Dakota Utilities, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection, Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre, Agtegra, Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg. They bring you our post-game show. Bauman Lumber, who will bring you our player of the game in the post-game, and keep track of the score. Our scoreboard brought to you by Wegner Auto. And, of course, you can see this game also at the KGFX page, at the DRG News app, and at drgnews.com, brought to you by Bauman Lumber. Our studio coordinator is Trinity Pearson. Glad to have you with us on a warm but not too bad day in Tyndall. A little bit hazy, but generally very pleasant. Yes, this is not the typical starting time. It is homecoming week in Bonham and all sorts of activities, and it's scheduled this way so kids can have some fun a little later this evening, and that way it means the Buffs won't get back home so terribly late. But a really encouraging performance for, remember, this is a very, very young Buffalo team. 2 weeks ago playing so well against Dupree, with the offense really racking up the yardage and moving the ball very well. Big plays. And in a couple of instances, but good drives also to help the Buffaloes along. Brady with a big game running the ball. Schweitzer doing a whole lot of things. Had 200 yards of all-purpose yards in that game. Also had an interception. Brady with the big game running the ball. And the offensive line really clearing out. But today they're taking on a Bonham team that's 2-1. They're coming off a shutout win last week over Viborg Hurley. They shut out Kimball White Lake in the opener. No shame in who they lost to in the second week. That Elkton Lake Benton Elk team, a very good one that they fell to 30-14. And the Cavaliers, well, if you remember the game here last year, a lot of names are going to be familiar. In fact, all of their, outside of their tight ends, all their skill position guys are back. Senior quarterback Riley Rothschadel, and senior running back Isaac Kronover, and junior tailback Jackson Kaba, and wide receiver Logan Winkler. And Rothschadel is a player that's hard to defend because of how fast he is, how well he can escape the pocket. In that win in Hurley last week over Viborg, Hurley accounted for all the touchdowns, running for 2 and passing for the other. And this is a very good physical defensive Bonham team, and with plenty of experience. So the Buffs are going to have a challenge here today on the road. This is the Potsabah Agency State Farm pregame show from Tyndall. Potsabah Agency State Farm Insurance in Pierre and Gregory. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Awfully glad to have you with us as we're getting a jump start on just about everybody in South Dakota high school football today. There was one game earlier involving a Central South Dakota team. But, in fact, when we come back, we'll take a look around South Dakota high school football, at least the central part of it, and the games that are ahead this evening. And our keys to success. You'll hear a little later on in our pregame from Stanley County head coach Max Foth. They're glad you're with us on this late Friday afternoon in Tyndall. It's the Stanley County Buffaloes and the Bonham Cavaliers. We'll return and take our look around high school football in 2 minutes from Tyndall here on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
For over 100 years, State Farm Insurance has been there to help whenever you need them. The team at Potsabah State Farm is your Central South Dakota good neighbor. While technology may have changed, you can always expect top-notch customer service from Popsiba State Farm. They'll take care of all of your insurance and financial service needs, where good neighbor service is their continued priority. Popsiba State Farm Insurance, with offices in Pierre and Gregory.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino, from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archived video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota high school sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino. Download it now at the App Store or Google Play.
Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre has cover crop seed for your fields. Cover crops hold soil in place, prevent the leaching of nitrogen from fields, help lower expenses by reducing the need for nitrogen fertilizers and pesticides, improve productivity by increasing the fertility and water holding capability of soil, and make soil more resilient. Sioux Nation has cane, common vetch, lentil, millet, oats, radish, rape, Sudan, and turnip seeds for use in cover crops, or they can mix your custom blend for you. Call Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre, 223-2427.
This fall, take some time to think about your future. While the leaves make their way down to earth and the last sunset of summer leaves us with an autumn chill, it's time to grab the nearest foam finger and break up a face paint. Rush the stands with First Dakota National Bank and forget how to blink. Fall sports are back with jaw-dropping plays, an electric atmosphere, and epic scores. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
Popsiba Agency State Farm pregame continues. We are in Tyndall at Bonhomme High School as the Cavaliers today host the Stanley County Buffaloes. And here's what else is happening among Central South Dakota teams in high school football. In the capital city tonight, of course, a very big game for the Pierre Governors, 3-0, five-time defending 11AA champion, of course, ranked number one in the media poll. Really have not been tested so far in their 3 games this year, but they should be tonight by the Yankton Bucks, who are also at 3-0. They're ranked third. The Governors, of course, have their Washington commit and incredible quarterback Lincoln Keenels, but Yankton has a pretty good one, too, in Rugby Riken. That coverage is at 6:25 this evening with Brian Oakland on the official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7. And, of course, you'll be able to see it at the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app and at drgnews.com. Elsewhere in Central South Dakota high school football today and tonight, Chamberlain coming off their first win of the season last week. They beat Lakota Tech, and in 11A, it's the Cubs hosting the Belle Fourche Bronx in Chamberlain. 11B, Miller Highmore Herald won their opener, but since then they've lost 3 in a row. They're in Wessington Springs to meet Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Darren Boyle will have that game on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO beginning at 6:30. The top-ranked team, the 2-time defending state champion Winter Warriors, are 4-0, and they'll play tomorrow evening against Lee Deadwood in Winter, going for win number 28 in a row. Mobridge Pollock, after winning their first 3, dropped one for the first time this season last week to Redfield. And this evening, the Tigers will play on the Northern State University campus in Aberdeen at the beautiful new Dakota Bank Stadium against Aberdeen Roncalli. Andy Shoemaker has that game for you, 6:30 on Star 99. Now, 2 other 9-man football teams in Central South Dakota in 9AA. The White River Tigers are at home, but they have a very tough assignment tonight against the Wall Eagles. They are the second-ranked team in 9A. Platte Gannis, the defending champs in 9A, coming off their first win of the year last week. They're at home this evening, taking on Viborg Hurley. Kimball White Lake not in action. Tough start for the Wildcats, 0-4, and it won't be any easier next Friday. They'll be at home, but they'll be against Gregory. And 1-2 North Central goes to a state-ranked Castlewood team in 9A. Castlewood ranked 3rd in the 9A poll. And speaking of other 9A teams, for the 5th-ranked Lyman Raiders, great start, 4-0, but no action for them this week. Oh, what a game this should be next Friday when the Raiders go to Wall to meet the Eagles. Speaking of those Gregory Gorillas, still unbeaten and number 1 in 9A at 3-0. They're at home at Gorilla Stadium to meet Irene Wakanda this evening. Philip Scotty's 2-1, and they head to Dupree to meet the team that Stanley County defeated a couple of weeks ago, to the Dupree Tigers. And another 9A team who the Buffaloes will see in a couple of weeks, Timberlake at 3-1 at home to meet the Jones County Coyotes from Class 9B. Jones County stands at 2-2. Now other 9B teams, Sully Buttes ranked 5th in the 9B poll. Tom Moore's team at 4-0. They are at Cologne this evening before their showdown next week with Harriet Selby area. Potter County, hard times for the Battlers after winning their opener. They've lost 3 in a row. They're in Langford this evening to play Langford area. Sunshine Bible Academy this afternoon hosted Great Plains Lutheran. Speaking of Harriet Selby area, the top-ranked Wolverines are playing at Ipswich this evening. Potential for a very good game there. HSA 3-0, Ipswich at 3-1, and they put some points on the board. The scoreboard could be busy in that one. 100.7 KMLO. Dave Williams will have that game at 6:30. And Faulkton area at 2-2 is at home. The Trojans will host Northwestern this evening, and that's some of what's happening in Central South Dakota high school football. There won't be a whole lot to update you on as this game continues, but we'll continue to tell you about other games as time permits. Let's continue on our Pottsville Agency State Farm pregame with our keys to success. And one of those keys for the Bonham Cavaliers, maybe get a little bit more yardage. They have actually averaged under 200 yards a game in their first 3. But why do they have a 2-1 record? Because they're holding their opponents to under 200 yards a game. A key, keep moving the football, and as we've told you with the athletes they have, they are certainly capable of doing that. The perspective of Stanley County head coach Max Foth is next on the Pottsville Agency State Farm pregame as our keys to success continue as we count down to kickoff for Stanley County and Bonham in Tyndall. Our visit with Max Foth comes your way in 1 minute here on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Now you can book flights from Pierre Regional Airport through United.com and American Airlines. If traveling to Denver, schedule your flight at DenverAirConnection.com. Plus, the morning flight is at 8:20, allowing you to connect to the majority of continued flights. Avoid the crowds, enjoy free parking, and no driving when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 50 passenger jets and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Yesway Rewards members not only get savings on in-store items and cool free stuff, they also get savings on gas, including an instant fuel discount upon registering. Join now at yesway.com. Yesway. Say yes to convenience.
State Farm pregame continues in Tyndall. Stanley County Buffaloes back in action tonight against the Bonham Cavaliers. And our keys to success are with the head coach of the Stanley County Buffaloes, Max Foth. Been 2 weeks ago, but hey, whole lot of good happened. And I knew you figured that your team had that in them, putting up nearly 400 yards of offense and scoring 42 points.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You know, anytime you play a full football game and you don't punt, you know you're doing something right. You know, we did turn the ball over a few times, but other than that, offensively, we played as well as we could have hoped, and it gave us plenty to work on. You know, defensively, we really fell asleep a little bit in that fourth quarter, and these young kids learned a valuable lesson, and it's always easier to learn a lesson when you win a game rather than learning a tough one in a loss. So plenty to work on, and we were happy to have the bye week to do it.
Even for teams with experience, it can be a dangerous thing when you get a lead like that and you build up, and it's natural to say, oh, gee, we got this game in the bag. Well, it doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah, you know, it was one of those things. We built a nice 34-8 lead, and then, you know, Dupree, to their credit, kept playing and kept battling, and you know, they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, and a couple of those touchdowns were back on our first string defense again. So it's not just our young guys that got in when we were up big. It was, okay, well, now we don't want to relinquish this lead, and they still found a way to score some points. So, good lessons for all of our kids, and that's the other funny part is, when we subbed some of our other kids down on defense and got some other kids some action, we were replacing freshmen with freshmen. So it was funny. It was fun to see. I'm glad everybody got to play, and I'm glad we were able to come away with a win.
Well, on offense, a lot of guys did a lot for you, but and we gave Colton Brady the T-shirt, but another guy that if we had two, I would have given him one too, and he may get one eventually this season. What a game Barrett Schweitzer had for you on both sides of the ball. What about the progress that he has made? He got to play a little bit last year, but about the progress between last year and this year for Barrett? Yeah,
Barrett's done a great job for us. Schweitzer's done a great job. He when we're running, chances are he's blocking for us or running the football. And when we're throwing, chances are pretty good. We're either throwing to him or Chase Hansen because they do a lot of great things when they catch the football. So we found some things that we really liked in Dupree's defense that we were able to exploit. And Schweitzer seemed to be the first guy that really jumped on that opportunity. And yeah, he hit the ground running, had some big receptions for some big touchdowns. And then another thing that might go unnoticed is, Colton Brady had a heck of a game running the football, but a lot of those carries, Barrett Schweitzer was leading the way for him. So it was a total team effort, but Brady and Colton played as well as they played, and hopefully they can keep building on that.
Change can happen from one year to the next in high school football. You're as good an example as there is right now. But then you look at Bonham, outside of their tight ends, all their skill guys are back. And you remember it was a very good game in this same spot in Tyndall last year. But here's a team with experience. Interesting team, 2-1. Maybe they don't put up a lot of yards, but they sure don't give up very many either.
Yeah, they look great on film. They look fast. They look explosive on offense. They look really close to really hitting their stride. And we're just hoping that that's not against us. They're very senior and junior laden team, got a lot of experience. Those kids kind of like the position we are in now. Last year, they played a lot of young guys, and by the end of the season, they were playing really good football. And I think they're about to be playing some good football here too. They're a good team and just unbelievably fast. You look at a couple of those kids, and they're just so explosive. So we've got our work cut out for us tonight, and hopefully we can play some good football and try to match some of that speed.
Quarterback is Riley Rothschadel. You saw him a year ago. His play reminded me a lot of what Lathan Prince did for you as far as his ability to get out of the pocket. You talk about speed, getting out of the pocket so fast when he has to. I remember he did that against you last year, but he's done it in the little bit of video I've seen this year too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got that type of breakaway speed, and they do a really nice job of finding avenues for him to run the football, where they spread everybody out and send everybody on deep routes, and if everybody's covered, you did a great job defensively, but then he's one of the best athletes on the field. He takes off, and he makes life hard, and like our coaches were saying this week, he keeps coaches up at night with how fast he is, and anytime the quarterback can run like that. So, like I said, we got our work cut out for us. He's a heck of an athlete. They're a very well-coached team, but I think we've got some wrinkles in defensively that hopefully can give them a little bit of trouble.
What are those keys to success this evening?
Like we touched on, we got to keep him in the pocket. We got to really do a good job of trying to force him to make some tough throws. So we don't want to, give up wide open passes, but at the same time, we're going to really commit to keeping people in the box and commit to making him having to throw it to beat us. And if he does, that's good for him. And we're going to try our best to keep him in the pocket and not let him run for 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Now, then the edge rush. They're getting to the edge is a big challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the double-edged sword. You want to rush the passer and you want to go get sacks, but at the same time, you can't miss, especially in 9-man football. There's so much grass out there. There's not enough guys, and when you miss big, especially with a guy like this. So it's going to be that little bit of a controlled chaos pressure, try to really collapse the pocket on him, and hopefully we can get a few sacks and get them in a position they don't want to be in.
Stanley County head coach Max Foth as his team prepares to meet Bonham. Thank you, sir. Good luck this evening.
Thank you.
Coming up, it's the starting lineups and the law on the field and the kickoff from Tyndall as Stanley County meets Bonham. We're on the Pottsville Agency State Farm pregame, and we'll have more in 1 minute here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
You know that feeling? The feeling that things couldn't get any better? It's you at your best. Being your best means owning your health. It means not only meeting your goals, but crushing them. then setting new ones. Partner with an Avera primary care provider. We are right here to help you create health goals so you can feel your best and move forward to your healthiest self. Learn more at avera.org/checkup. Avera, moving health forward.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Time for the Montana-Dakota Utilities starting lineups. First for the Stanley County Buffaloes, junior quarterback Brock Zabe off a pretty good game against Dupree, now up to 304 yards passing this season with 4 touchdowns. Running back are Barrick Schweitzer, the junior, but he's a good receiver too, as he showed 9 catches, 163 yards for the season. Colton Brady, the running back, the senior, 5'10", 170, coming up a 135-yard game against Dupree with 2 scores, 199 for the season. Chase Hansen, wingback, wide receiver. They'll give him the ball too. He's rushed 16 times. He has 7 catches, 2 for scores. Also, Blaze Frost, the sophomore. Kate Montana, the sophomore, will see some time. They each have 2 catches. Freshman Q Bourne and freshman Paxton Deal, who has 3 carries and 1 reception. And in the interior on the line, senior guard Tyler Leiferman. The other guard is a sophomore, Noah Baldwin. The center is senior Nathaniel Nelson. The starting lineup for the Homme Cavaliers when we return to Tyndall in 30 seconds on KGFX after this from Montana-Dakota Utilities.
Hey, new guy. Shovel, right?
Yeah, right. And I'm not exactly new. I've seen some action.
Yeah, what's your story?
Hey, my last gig, I nearly got electrocuted, almost drowned. That guy never called 811 to see if it was safe to dig.
Our guy calls every time he digs.
It's quick and easy. Any tool can do it. Calling 811 gets your underground utility lines marked for free.
Hey, safe digging is no accident. Always call 811 before you dig.
This message brought to you by Montana-Dakota Utilities, in the community to serve.
Senior Riley Rothschadel is a good athlete. He's the quarterback for Bonham, 6'1", 190. One of these 4 skill players that are back, along with junior tailback 5'11", 160 Jackson Caba and 6'1", 205-pound senior Isaac Crownover. Wide receiver Logan Winkler, a senior. Tight ends are Landon Barris, a junior. Chapin Cooper, a junior. Jacob Kuka is the center. He's a junior. The guards are Landon Smith, a senior, and also Caden Hines, a senior, for head coach Byron Pudlow, and the Homme Cavaliers 2-1. By the way, found out, we told you about the loss they had to Elkton Lake Benton. Rothschadel was hurt and didn't play in that game, so that made quite the difference. Those are the Montana-Dakota Utilities starting lineups. Now, let's tell you about the law on the field, brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection. We'll introduce the officials when we return to Tyndall in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
Every day you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax returns, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information, such as bank and credit card account numbers, social security number, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions, trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think somebody has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 1-800-300-1986.
Rich Erickson is the referee. Umpire is Dave Kokesh. The linesman, Steve Patilla. The line judge is Dave Spencer. The back judge is Todd Larson. And the law on the field is brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection. And that's our Potsdam Agency State Farm pregame. Coming up, the kickoff as the Stanley County Buffaloes meet the Homme Cavaliers in Tyndall. Back with tonight's action in 2 minutes here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre. assuring access to quality health care.
Flip your loan, lower your payment with great rates from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. This is Jody. Now is the time to refinance your vehicle or a recreational vehicle with rates as low as 2.3%. Plus, no payments for 90 days and $75 cash after finalization. Come see us on North Garfield Avenue at Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Competitive pay, check. A rewarding and fun environment, check. And best of all, caring for residents and being a part of an amazing team, check and check. Hi, this is Kim Brackey from Edgewood and Pierre. We are looking for more dedicated healthcare heroes to join our team. Do you know what makes working at Edgewood so great? We provide care in a fun working environment where you will experience a warm welcome from our amazing team and residents. Come work for a purpose. Give us a call at 494-3400 to learn more. Edgewood, where home and healthcare meet.
Each South Dakota farmer operates differently, and that means that ag insurance should be as unique as every farmer in the field. Fisher Rounds & Associates gets to know you and your operation before we find a policy. That way, we can make sure you have the coverage you need. Contact Fisher Rounds & Associates and see what it means to have us at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving South Dakota farmers with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Warm but not hot in Tyndall as the Stanley County Buffaloes prepare to meet the Bonhomme Cavaliers. The fourth game of the season for each team. In fact, after today, it'll be midway through the regular season schedule for Stanley County. Don't forget, it is homecoming next week. Ole Williamson Field. The White River Tigers will be in town. Stanley County wearing their road white tops with purple numerals and letters in gold trim. Buffaloes and small block print numbers above the letters above the numbers on the front. Of course, the purple and gold piping on the shoulders. Bonhomme's home uniforms and the white helmets, of course, for the Buffs with that Buffalo logo. The home uniforms for the Bonhomme Cavaliers, they are those familiar cherry red uniforms with white numerals and letters and that Columbia blue trim. Very sharp uniforms and the cherry red helmets. Coin toss is about to take place here. Brock Zay, Chase Hansen, Barrett Schweitzer, and Nathaniel Nelson are the captains for Stanley County.
Game sponsors tonight are up
and it's Riley Rothschadel, Caden Himes, Isaac Crownover, and Landon Smith. They are the captains for the Bonhomme Cavaliers. Terrific game these teams played here a year ago. Buffs came back, made it a one-score game late in the game, you may recall. But it was a 21-18 Bonhomme win, one of 3 wins this Cavalier team had a year ago. Barrett Schweitzer, by the way, had his first varsity touchdown in that game as there was an injury, and Barrett had to step in and play in the role that he is playing for the Buffaloes right now. Nathan Prince, a good day that day. The coin toss has been won by Bonhomme, and they have decided to receive. So we're not too far from the Linz Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre opening kickoff. We'll hear from those good folks and then get this one started here in Tyndall in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
Linz Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre. Check out their great selection in the meat, deli, and produce department and hardware as well as the rest of the store. The freshest and best quality in the area. Don't see what you need? Just ask. Their friendly staff is more than happy to help in any way possible. For any gathering, large or small, Linz Dakota Mart is there for you. Special orders and requests too. Smart grocery shopping takes a little TLC. Linz Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre. Thrifty, local, and convenient.
Tyler Leiferman is out to kick for Stanley County. He's had 2 touchbacks this season.
Tyler Leiferman.
The deep men, Isaac Crownover and Riley Rothschadel for Bonhomme. And it'll be Stanley County kicking from right to left and going that way in this first quarter. 77 degrees, not much wind at all, about 3 to 5 miles an hour, a little bit humid, a little hazy, but otherwise not too bad at all. We hope you enjoy the action from Tyndall and Leiferman. pops it up to about the 17-yard line, and on the reverse, it is Crownover giving it to Rothschild down the left side, 30, 35, 40, midfield to the 40 of Stanley County, breaks another tackle, and Rothschild's at the 20, and he's gone. Riley Rothschild has his second kick return touchdown of the season. In fact, the very first play for this Bonham team this season was an 86-yard kickoff return by Rothschild, and he has just run this one back. This one's 83, and it is an immediate hole for the Stanley County Buffaloes. Well, that is not how they wanted to start. You heard Maxwell talk about Rothschild and what he can do. Well, he has shown it already. Isaac Crownover will try the extra point. They have the swinging gate. Rothschild is the holder. Jace Tupel is the snapper. Snap a little low, but Rothschild was able to put it down. And Crownover kicks it through, and that didn't take long. Stanley County's going to have to rally. We're 16 seconds into the game, and we need a break. And maybe so do the Buffs. It's Bonham 7, Stanley County nothing. Back with the Bonham kickoff in 1 minute on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
For reliable, safe, efficient, and economical electrical work, call Ferding Electric. Ferding Electric staffs licensed, knowledgeable electricians to help you with all your electrical projects. New construction, rewires, or upgrades, residential or commercial, Ferding Electric knows how to get the job done right. Call Ferding Electric at 224-8684. Stop in at 2903 East Elizabeth, just off the truck bypass. See Ferding.com or find them on Facebook. Ferding Electric, licensed electricians, quality service, and dependable products since 1956.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
Isaac Crownover with kickoff. Oh, what a pop in the mouth that is for Stanley County. Barrett Schweitzer takes it from his 16 near the left sideline, 20, 25, and brought down by an ankle tackle
Schweitzer on the return
at his 31-yard line by Easton Mutter. So Stanley County,
on the tackle.
well, they will just have to recover here and see what they can do. Down 7-0 on the Riley Rothschild. 83-yard kickoff return to begin this game. Stanley County, as they move from our right to our left, they're at their 31, 1st and 10. Brock Zabe, the junior quarterback, under center, running out of the eye. First man through, it's Schweitzer, breaks a tackle. He is to his 35, 40, and down near his 44. That's a first down.
On the tackle, pick up 12 yards.
Well, there's a pretty good start as Barrett Schweitzer, and we said he did so well here last year. He gained 13 there on first down, and Stanley County moves the sticks.
1st and 10 on their own 44.
To their 44, Stanley County's 1st and 10. Near where the left hash would be if they were drawn here, wide side to the right. Wing right, and they run out of the eye again. And again, the first man through is Schweitzer. Up the middle, 47 of Stanley County or so. Schweitzer has had each of the first 2 carries. And hit given to Caden Himes to his 47. Gain of 3, and it's 2nd down and 7 for Stanley County. We owe you something the FCC wants us to do. We'll do it here in a moment when we get a chance. 2nd and 7 from their 47 for Stanley County. Man in motion, and the handoff to him, and in trouble, and dropping the ball, and picking up his Bonham. Brendan Bothwell, the freshman, dropped it as he tried to sweep.
Brings up 2nd and 13.
Well, they're going to say he was down. It is not a fumble, and that's a break for Stanley County. So Bothwell, the freshman, getting a chance to play. Back to his 43 for a loss of 4. And Stanley County has a 3rd down and 11 to go. 10-14 first quarter, 7-0 Bonhomme and an 83-yard kickoff return to start the game for a score by Riley Rothschadel. Now the man in motion to the left. Here's a pass to the left side. This is caught, and breaking a tackle is Hansen. 45-40 of Bonhomme, and brought down at the 31 by Mutter, or he might still be running. Good recovery and a first down for Stanley County.
Pass was complete to Hansen.
So Hansen with another big catch.
Out at the Cavalier 31.
And it's at the 31-yard line of Bonhomme for the second first down for Stanley County. Big play there and a gain of 26 on 1st and 10 at the Bonhomme 31. Throw on the right side, a little too far and incomplete on the right side. Going again for Chase Hansen. Before second down, we better do this before somebody yells at me with pause for station identification.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, 1060 KGFX Pier. Rebroadcasting on K276 GT 103.1 FM Fort Pierre. Stay alive, don't text and drive.
2nd and 10 for Stanley County. They're at the Bonhomme 31. About 2.5 minutes of the game. Homestanding Bonhomme leading 7-0. Handoff, Colton Brady. One tackle broken, 25, 23-yard line of Bonhomme. Colton Brady, the senior, with a good run before the hit was made there.
Ball on the tackle, pickup of 7 yards, brings up 3rd and 3 for the Buffaloes.
And that'll be 3rd down for Stanley County. Brady, big game, over 130 yards. Gain to the 24 of Bonham. 3rd down and 3. Zabe under center. Hands it off. It's Brady up the middle. He's near the 21. Let's see where they spot him. He's
Brady
down.
On to carry up the middle again.
But he is going to be, I mean, really, really very close, but very, very close to it, but short by a foot or two. That's all. And, of course, Stanley County keeps the offense on the field. First quarter, 8:31 remaining, but already some action. Bonhomme leading by a score of 7-0. It can't be more than 6 or 8 inches that Stanley County needs here. Wide side left, Brock Zabe to the line. Wing to the left. That's Q Bourne, but whistle to blow because Stanley County will take a timeout. So will we, an Ag-Tegra timeout. 8:13 left first quarter. Stanley County with a big 4th down coming up, trailing Bonhomme 7-0. Back to Tyndall in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
With the opportunity of current winter wheat prices, see the team at Sioux Nation Seed Warehouse in Fort Pierre for these varieties of certified winter wheat seed: AP Claire, Cy Wolverine, Cy Monument, AP18AX, Winter, WB Grandfield, Cy 517CL2, and Crescent AX. Certified seed will maximize your yields next harvest. Sioux Nation seed specialists recommend winter wheat varieties with proven potential for our area. At Sioux Nation, they can help you with all of your seed needs. Call 223-2427 today.
And Ag-Tegra timeout. Acres Ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Ag-Tegra cooperative today. So Stanley County, after they started this drive, back at their 31, they're to the Bonhomme 22. It's inside the 22. It's 4th down and
Coming out of the timeout.
less than a yard. Maybe about the length of the ball, but that's all they need. Bourne is lined up as a tight end to the left. Wing to the right. Really a slot is Hansen. They run out of the eye. Zabe under center just moves it forward, and I think he has it. He almost got pushed back.
On the quarterback keeper.
But Zabe and the keeper does move the sticks.
Chuka and Cooper.
And he is able, in fact, to surge forward
10 for the Buffaloes.
all the way to the 17-yard line of Bonham. Ended up being a game of 5. The first surge sent him back before Zabe gained the first down. 3rd on this drive for Stanley County. Down 7-0, 7:45 in the first quarter, but now they're 1st and 10 at Bonham 17. Zabe is under center. Lay handoff Brady. Oh, they're waiting for him in the backfield. Loss there. Colton Brady had absolutely nowhere to go because Chapin, Cooper, was waiting. He grabbed him by the ankle immediately after he took the football. Loss is back to the 21. It's a loss of 4. Second down and 14. .48 yards on this drive. Stanley County wants to turn it into points. They're down 7-0 with 7:03 in the first quarter. Second and 14 from the Bonhomme 21. Zabe, option right, throws that way, open end zone, but out of the reach of Caden, of Blaze Frost. Just out of Frost reach. He made a dive for it in the right corner of the end zone, but the ball thrown a little too far. So that'll bring up third down and long. This drive now for Stanley County has taken almost 5 minutes. This will be the 11th play of it coming up. As Barrett Schweitzer brings in a play. Third and 14 for Stanley County at the Bonhomme 21. They're 1 of 2 so far today. They were better last week. They were 3 of 6 against Dupree. 2 receivers each way. Man in motion to the left, that's Hansen, and a throw left to Hansen. Caught, but Hansen slipped and fell, and then was touched down to the turf.
Deep pass complete to Hansen.
At around
Mutter on the tackle, pick up
the 18-yard line by Mutter.
4th and 10 for the Buffaloes.
So that will be 4th down and 11 here for Stanley County at the Bonhomme 18. Again, they'll keep the offense on the field, but a lot of work to do here. Down 7-0, 6:24 first quarter. 2 receivers to the right and to the left. Schweitzer in motion to the right, and the ball bounces out of Zabe's hands. Either way, it's going to be Bonhomme football, and it's officially going to be a fumble that is recovered by Jacob Kuka.
Cavalier ball, 1st and 10.
Now, that was, the snap was fine. There was nothing wrong with that. Zabe just lost it. And Kuka made the recovery. And here is
Cavalier ball, 1st and 10.
Bonhomme
25.
out to their 26-yard line. So they will have the football back with 6:15 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Bonhomme on an opening kickoff return of the game, 83 yards by Riley Rothscheitel, who takes the snap here. And it is a reverse to the right side. Crownover, 25, 30, 35, brought down there.
Crownover on a carry around the
A lot of motion on that play. Crownover, it was really a double reverse. Brock Zabe brought him down.
Pickup of 8 yards brings up 2nd and 2.
But it's a good gain. Second down and about a yard here for Bonham from their 35-yard line. These are fast guys, a lot of speed on this team. 12-play drive, 5.5 minutes, and it ended officially in a turnover for Stanley County. 2nd and 1 for Bonhomme from their 35. They move from left to right. Rothscheitel sends a man in motion, takes himself up the middle, 36. Looks like he has enough for the first down.
On to keep her up the middle.
Grabbed right away by Nathaniel Nelson and by Tyler Leiferman, but he does have the first down.
First down for the Cavaliers.
Gain of, well, let's call it 3 to his 38. First offensive series for Bonham. Their points came on a kickoff return to start the game. 1st and 10 Bonham from their 38. Man in motion and back to throw is Rothschild. All kinds of time down the middle. Wide open car. 30-yard line, Stanley County. Winkler, 20, 10. He's gone. Logan Winkler. That is a 62-yard touchdown. Rothschild had great protection. Winkler just beat everybody right down the middle. And Bonham has struck again, this time with the offense, quickly. Again, to reiterate, Rothschild did not play in the game they lost to a very good Elkton Lake Benton team. And now he has the kickoff return for a score, and he's thrown for this one. Isaac Crownover will look to add the extra point, but instead they snap it right to Rothschild, and there was someone that came forward to the line of scrimmage. It's a legal procedure, the full start on
back the attempt up 5 yards.
Bonhomme will back it up 5. So it's 13-0 now for Bonhomme with 4:56 left in the first quarter. Now it'll be a 25-yard extra point if they don't want to do something a little different. Rothschadel is the holder for Isaac Crownover. Jace Tupol is the holder. Kick is low and made it over the crossbar. A line drive, but it's good. And we'll take a break. 4:56 left first quarter. Great start for Bonhomme. They lead Stanley County by a score of 14-0. And back with another Cavalier kickoff in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
Now you can book flights from Pierre Regional Airport through United.com and American Airlines. If traveling to Denver, schedule your flight at DenverAirConnection.com. Plus, the morning flight is at 8:20, allowing you to connect to the majority of continued flights. Avoid the crowds, enjoy free parking, and no driving when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 50 passenger jets and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
A 3.74-yard scoring drive for Bonhomme, taking just 1:19, the last 62. Riley Rothschadel to Logan Winkler for the touchdown. Crownover adds his second conversion. Bonhomme 14-0. They broke it on top.
Hansen and Schweitzer back.
A team that won only 3 games a year ago, but as we told you, all their skill guys are back. And in this part of the state, people are taking a notice of what this team can do. They go to Platte Geddes, by the way. They'll play in Platte next Friday. Here's another kickoff for Crownover. Schweitzer and Hansen wait at their own 6-yard line. Comes on a hop to Schweitzer. Barrett is at his 20. Left at the 25. One tackle broken. Ahead to his 30 in the sideline right in front of us. I nearly lost that ball again. I think it went out of bounds. And Stanley County will start at their 30.
Ball, first and 10.
Well,
on their own
Bluffs
30.
know they're going to have to hang on to the football in this game, or that's going to put them in a whole lot of trouble. Officially, that was a fumble at the end of that drive. Ball is right for Stanley County on their 30, first and 10. Long drive ended in nothing earlier in this first quarter. 4:50 still left in the first. Bonhomme leads now by a score of 14-0. Brady beside Zabe in the backfield. 2 receivers each way. Schweitzer in motion from left to right. First and 10 from their 30. Pump fake by Zabe, in trouble. Breaks a tackle at his 25, but he doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's finished off by Chapin Cooper.
On the tackle for a loss. Brings up second and
That'll count as a sack
for the Buffaloes.
Zabe called at the 29, so it's second down and 11. And again, the last thing you want to be against a team with this sort of speed that can find the football fast is behind the chains. Second and 11 for Stanley County from their 29. Zabe is under center this time. Wing left, they run out of the eye. The wingman is Hansen, takes the snap, brought down right away. May have made it back to the line of scrimmage.
On the carry around the corner.
But absolutely no more than
on the tackle
that.
No gain. Brings up third and 12.
Evan Ulmer made the stop.
The Buffaloes.
And that's back to the 28, so that's a loss of a yard. And Stanley County now finds themselves at 3rd and 12 with 3:43 left in the first quarter. Bonhomme leading by a score 14-0. Brock Zabe brings him out of the huddle. Jackson Getty, senior, getting some playing time. He's one of 2 receivers to the left, and there are 2 to the right, too. Snap back to Zabe. Here comes some pressure. Throws for Getty. Left side. It's incomplete. And he was draped, but no flag thrown. Close coverage by Easton Mutter.
Mutter was on coverage.
It's an incomplete pass.
For the Buffaloes.
And it is 4th down for Stanley County from their 28.
Deal to punt for the Buffaloes.
So it is punt formation, and it is the freshman Paxton Deal. And look out, Riley Rothschadel for Bonhomme is standing at his 35. He's already running back a kickoff for a score in this game. Ninth man for Stanley County. Landon Eran Cantu comes on the field. Pass back, blocked! Logan Winkler picks it up and runs it in, touchdown. Nobody came close to Logan Winkler, who blocked it.
Punt is blocked and taken
Back at the 21, and he ran it in for the score.
Cavalier touchdown.
And a young team is finding himself having to learn some lessons. Winkler blocked it. Winkler ran it in. 20-0 for Bonhomme. And swinging gate, nobody swings. They just snap it right to Rothschadel, and he runs it into the end zone for 2, and the hole's deeper for Stanley County. Let's take a break. 3:09 left first quarter, and now it's Bonhomme 22, Stanley County nothing. More from Tyndall in 30 seconds on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
With Yes Way Rewards, members buy stuff, get points, and earn smiles. Redeemable for everything from free stuff to savings on snacks, meals, and beverages, and discounts on gas. Join now at yesway.com. Yes Way. Say yes to convenience.
Two special teams scores have helped the Bonhomme Cavaliers to a 3-score lead in this first quarter. The latest, the block, punt, and run in for a touchdown by Logan Winkler. Riley Rothschadel ran in the 2-point conversion. And the lead is now 22-0 for Bonhomme with 3:09 left in the first quarter. And now there's plenty of work to do, maybe to make this a 4-quarter game. Chase Hansen and Barrett Schweitzer are standing back at their 10-yard line for Stanley County, waiting to receive the kick of Isaac Crownover.
For the Cavaliers.
Again, not one of those teams that gets talked about in 9-man football a lot, but they've got some talent. I'll be very curious to see, especially how they do against Platte Geddes next week. Platte Geddes has had a rough start. They did come up with a win, but I don't know if I'd want to play these guys in October and November. Here's a little spinning kick end over end, and it went off the hand of an up man at his 29-yard line. And he has matched his Cash Richardson down to the 35-yard line.
Jackson Saba on the tackle. Buffalo ball, 1st and 10 on their own.
As Jackson Saba brought him down. Return of, well, let's call it 7 yards for Cash Richardson, as he brought it out to his 36. 1st and 10, Stanley County in a hole now, down 22-0 to Bonhomme. 3:05 left first quarter on a lovely late afternoon in Tyndall. Toss right is Colton Brady. He's upended for a loss.
Brady
and there's Saba again, who just made the play on the kickoff return, and he just upended Colton Brady back at his 31.
On the tackle for a loss.
Well, that play, they've tried that a couple of times, and
2nd and 14
it has not worked yet. Loss of 5. Bonham's back to Stanley County's back to their 31, and now it's 2nd down and 15. And now Bonham can just lie back and wait. They know the Buffs are going to have to throw a lot, and they have 2 receivers each way this time. 2nd and 15 from their 31. Man in motion from right to left is Hansen. Brock Zabe looks to throw left, breaks one tackle. He's going to have to scramble for it. Runs ahead to the 35, down to the 37. Not bad there by Brock off the scramble.
Rochado on the tackle. Pick up a 5-yard, brings up 3rd
Caden Hines was in on that play, but it's still going to be 3rd and long for Stanley County from their 37, 3rd down and about 9. Homecoming next week. Don't forget the big parade on Friday afternoon in Fort Pierre. White River comes to Ole Williamson Field. We'll be with you at 6:30 next Friday here on KGFX. 2 receivers each way again for Stanley County. 3rd and 9 from their 37. Deals the man in motion to the right. Paxton, a fake to him. Throw left, Hansen caught and dropped right away at his own 43 by
Barish on the
Landon
tackle.
Barrs.
Brings up 4th and 4 for the Buffaloes at their own.
You can tell
43.
that Bonhomme scouts well. There have been times already when the ball's been caught, receivers have been right there waiting. So 4th down and 3 for Stanley County from their 43. And let's see if, and why not take a chance here, really, with a minute left in the first quarter down to
Field and take on the Eagles at 7 p.m. Venture Communications, your home for ESPN and Monday Night Football. Call Venture Communications today for high-def TV service and more. 852-2224.
Flip your loan. Lower your payment with great rates from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. This is Jody. Now is the time to refinance your vehicle or recreational vehicle with rates as low as 2.3%. Plus, no payments for 90 days and $75 cash after finalization. Come see us on North Garfield Avenue at Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Access Health.
What are you doing? I need it back.
Offering chronic and acute care for all ages.
Henson on the
Including
carry.
evaluations for
Saba
illness and
on the
injuries,
stop.
immunizations, lab testing,
Pick
wellness
up 2 yards,
exams, and
brings
DOT
up
and sports
3rd and
visits.
6
Same-day appointments are
for
available,
the
and
Buffaloes.
most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health, Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
2-yard run for Chase Hansen on the first play of the second quarter. Leaves Stanley County 3rd and 6 from midfield. David Burrow with you, Trinity Pearson, our studio coordinator. Stanley County in a hole down 22-0. Black Zabe is under center. Play fake, sacked again. Oh boy, faked it to Colton Brady and then grabbed by the ankle immediately by Saba, who's already been in a lot of plays.
Saba flying through the middle.
Saba, pardon me, Jackson Saba. And that is all the way back
13 for the Buffaloes.
for Stanley County at their 43-yard line to make it 4th down and 13. So Paxton Deal will be on the punt. Hopefully, remember the first one was blocked. Ross Shadle was back at his 21 for Bonham. 2 special teams touchdowns in the first quarter for Bonham. They lead 22-0. Pass back to Deal. Protection's better this time. End over end kick. Ross Shadle runs up on it at his 27. Left to the 30. Now he cuts right at his 32. Tries to turn the corner. He's at his 35. Block for him, 40. Midfield, 40 of Stanley County. 30, 20. Outraces everybody. Gone again. Riley Ross Shadle now has a kickoff return and a punt return touchdown in this game. This one is 73 yards. Remember in our pregame what head coach Max Both of Stanley County said? He's the type of player that keeps coaches up at night because of his speed. He has already shown it with 2 enormous returns. My goodness, it's 28-0 for Bonhomme. It's all Cavaliers, and Isaac Crownover will try a 3rd extra point. He kicks it through good. We'll take a break. 10-16 left in the first half. Bonhomme dominating. Stanley County leading 29-0. And the kickoff in 30 seconds here on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Wow. 3 special teams touchdowns in this first half for the Bonhomme Cavaliers, 2 of them by Riley Ross Shadle. He started the game with an 83-yard kickoff return. Now he has a 73-yard punt return for a score, and it's 29-0. Bonhomme with Isaac Crownover very busy with the foot, ready to kick off again. Stanley County has at their own 10 Barrett Schweitzer and Chase Hansen. And again, the Buffs want to make this a four-quarter football game. That has to be maybe the goal at the moment. Kick goes right, taken by an up man. It is 30, 35, and down near the 41-yard line. That was Jackson Getty who took it, or excuse me, Cash Richardson.
Crownover on the stop. Buffalo ball.
And the kicker Crownover was the one who made the stop. Not a bad return by Jackson, who had to take that ball on the run. He made it to his own 45. So let's see if Stanley County can do something now. But they're down 29-0, 10-11 remaining first half. Now trips to the right and one to the left in a four-receiver set with Brock Zabe under center. From left to right, swing pass to Hansen, left flat, dragged down by his jersey by, who do you think? Rothschadel back at his 41, another loss.
For a loss by Rothschadel. Tackle 5-yard
There
loss,
have
brings
been
up
some
2nd and 15
tackles
the
for
Buffaloes.
losses already in this game. For Bonhomme, that one's a loss of 5 to the Stanley County 40, and it's second down and 15. And here is another learning experience for this young Buffalo team. And you have to keep reminding ourselves and you of that. Remember how many freshmen and especially and a few sophomores are playing. The quarterback, Brock Zabe, is a junior. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Second and 15. They run out of the I this time, Stanley County, from their own 40. Well, it's a shotgun for Zabe, handed to Brady up the middle, 40, 43, 44, before he runs into the arms of Jacob Suka.
Wrestled down by 44.
Gain of about 4.
Jacob Chuka.
Jacob Chuka,
Brings up third and 11.
C-U-K-A. Third down and 11 for SC from their 44. They're only 1 of 6 on third down, so back to the struggles on third down that they had in their first 2 games. 8:50 left first half. Stanley County's been outgained. How about this? 74-47. And again, as we say, 3 special teams touchdowns are why Bonham has this big lead. Third and 11, Stanley County from their 44. Paxton Deal in motion from right to left. Lone in the backfield is Zabe shotgun. Here comes some pressure. It is handled. Little wobbler on the right side, incomplete. Overthrown for Hansen at the Bonham 30-yard line.
Zabe's pass to Hansen falls
And
incomplete.
he had a little bit of pressure, but
on the coverage for the
Brock may not have had a very good handle on the football that time. Well, here's Deal to punt again, and
Deal back to punt.
this time it'll be Logan Winkler back as the deep man, as Rothschadel going to get a little bit of time away. I'd say he's earned it with what he's done already in this game. Deal stands back at his 34-yard line. Officials say we're ready, and Rich Erickson says let's run that clock and keep going. Snap back to the freshman Deal, trying to kick it away from Winkler, and he does, and an end-over-end kick is out of bounds
Deal
at
is out of bounds at the Cavalier 31.
the Bonhomme
Cavalier ball,
31-yard line. With 8:17 left in the first half,
Football booster t-shirts for
and Bonhomme leading by a score of 29-0. Rothschadel has a kickoff return, a punt return for a touchdown. He also has a touchdown pass to Logan Winkler, the only pass Bonham has tried or completed. And Winkler has the block punt with a return for a score. Bonham is 1st and 10 from their 31. One receiver split each way. Winkler in motion to a wing right, and they hand off. Rothschadel's not in there at the moment. It is Mutter, and he hands it off to Crownover. I wonder if something's wrong. Remember, we told you 2 weeks ago Rothschadel did not play.
Pick up 6 yards, brings up 2nd and 4.
Crownover with a good gain to his 37, and it'll be second down and about 4. So I wonder if something is amiss with Rothschadel. It's not what Bonham needs, certainly. 2nd and 4 from their 37 for Bonham, and they just hand off at the middle. This is Jackson Saba in the arms of Noah Baldwin at his 40, and that's enough
Daniel Nelson on
Or Nathaniel Nelson, who was 45. That's enough for a first down.
For the Cavaliers.
8 more yards for Saba, and just the third first down for Bonham. Again, their offense hasn't been out there much because their special teams have done the job. So this at quarterback is Easton Mutter, a 6', 180-pound junior. Snap is to Mutter, handed to Saba again, right guard 48-yard line, and down maybe to his 49.
Carry off around the corner.
Saba is brought in by Colton Brady.
Brady is on the tackle, pick up about 4 yards.
4 more for him will bring up second down and 6. We'll name our player of the game in our postgame, brought to you by Bauman Lumber. I'd say there is a a very strong candidate for that so far. However, he's not in the field at the moment, we'll say again. Second down and 6 and it also could be precautionary with this big lead. We just don't know. Mutter with a fake and a roll right off the play fake. Throwing long right for Cooper, and he made the catch at the Stanley County 31.
Takes it down to
the coverage not too bad by
first and 10. Cavaliers.
Weston Prince. But Mutter still found Cooper.
Prince was on tackle and coverage for the Buffaloes.
For a gain of 20 yards all the way down to the 31, 32-yard line, 19 yards, 32 of Stanley County. Still 6:12 left in the first half. Bonham is already up 29-0. And they're first and 10 here at Stanley County's 32-yard line. Landon Barris is lined up wide to the left. Saba, man in motion to right. Here's Rothschadel. Yeah, he's fine, and he's running around right in. 25-20. Fights a tackle off and is out of bounds inside the 15. So Rothschadel's back
on the tackle,
in there.
And that's another first down for the Cavaliers.
And it's a first down inside.
First and 10 on the Buffalo 18.
The 20-yard line down, in fact, to about the 17-yard line for 15 more for Rothschadel, who is doing it all tonight. Still 5:33 first half. 29-0 Bonham in front and driving. They're first and 10 at Stanley County's 17-yard line. Rothschadel. And oops.
We have a penalty before the play.
Players move, at least on Stanley County's side, but were they drawn? They were not.
Offsides on the Buffaloes.
There may have been a hand clap or some sort of voice cadence that made 3 Buffalo linemen jump across the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty is the first of the game on Stanley County. So it's first and 5. Not that these guys need any help. Bonham's at the Stanley County 12. Receiver split left. Rothschadel with a throw in the right flat to Saba. 10 down to the 5 near the pylon. No signal from the officials. The Bonham players
pass complete to Winkler.
say touchdown. It is Winkler actually who made the catch. He's not quite in. Brought down
to the Buffalo 1.
Just short of the goal line.
Brady on the tackle for the Buffaloes.
Well, Brady made the stop, but it's first and goal for Bonham, who may already be putting this game away. Rothschadel off a keeper, tries to push his way forward. He's in. Yet another touchdown for Riley Rothschadel. And with 4:39 left in the first half, Bonham's lead is now 35-0. And this time, good drive by Bonham. They go 69 yards on 7 plays. Isaac Crownover will try another extra point. Snap good, the hole cook good, low kick, but it's through.
Crownover's point after attempt kick is good.
And Bonham increases the lead to 36-0 over Stanley County with 4:39 left in the first half here in Tyndall. More in 30 seconds at the KGFX page at drgnews.com and the DRG News app and on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Competitive pay, check. A rewarding and fun environment, checked. And best of all, caring for residents and being a part of an amazing team, check and check. Hi, this is Kim Brackey from Edgewood and Pierre. We are looking for more dedicated healthcare heroes to join our team. Do you know what makes working at Edgewood so great? We provide care in a fun working environment where you will experience a warm welcome from our amazing team and residents. Come work for a purpose. Give us a call at 494-3400 to learn more. Edgewood, where home and healthcare meet.
That scoring drive for Bonhomme, 7 plays, 69 yards, 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Ended in, who do you think? Riley Rothschadel with a 1-yard keeper for the touchdown.
Henson and Schweitzer back.
Easton Mutters passed to Chapin Cooper for 19 yards. Big play on that drive for Bonhomme, who now leads 36-0 with 4:39 left in the first half. Isaac Crownover set to kick for Bonhomme. Stanley County sends back to their 15-yard line Barrett Schweitzer and Chase Hansen from left to right, just trying to do something. Realistically, this game might be out of reach, but Stanley County just wants to move the football. Short kick, it'll come to Schweitzer at his 19, 20, left side, 25, 30-yard line. Cooper and others back him up at about
Schweitzer
the 32.
On the return out to the Buffalo 31.
Schweitzer patient and waited for that football.
Barish on the tackle for
And
the
some
Cavaliers.
yardage there.
Buffalo ball, 1st and 10.
So Stanley County spotted at their 31-yard line. And just trying to make something out of what's been an otherwise tough first half. A Bonhomme team that's looking really good, well on their way to being 3-1 as they lead Stanley County 36-0. All right, let's see what Brock Zabe and this Buffalo offense can do now. Left hash wide, side right, 1st and 10 from their 31. And Zabe just trying to take it straight up the middle, yard or two to his 32 or 3.
Carry up the middle. Volchek on the tackle, pick up a 1 yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 for the Buffaloes.
And that'll make it 2nd down and about 9 after a gain of a yard to his 32. Colton Volchek, a sophomore, VLCEK, makes the tackle. 2nd and 9 SC from their 32. Now taking a while in the huddle. Just under 4 minutes left in the first half. Bonhomme 36. Stanley County nothing, and it has been the Riley Rothschadel show. Touchdown run, touchdown pass, kickoff return for a score. That started the game. Punt return for a score. Stanley County is going to take an Agtegra timeout. With 3:41 left in the first half, we'll take it 2. Acres Ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. 3:41 first half in Tyndall. Bonhomme 36, Stanley County nothing. Back to the action in 30 seconds on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
For reliable, safe, efficient, and economical electrical work, call Ferding Electric. Ferding Electric staffs licensed, knowledgeable electricians to help you with all your electrical projects. New construction, rewires, or upgrades, residential or commercial, Ferding Electric knows how to get the job done right. Call Ferding Electric at 224-8684. Stop in at 2903 East Elizabeth, just off the truck bypass. See Ferding.com or find them on Facebook. Ferding Electric, licensed electricians, quality service, and dependable products since 1956.
Stanley County had a 10-play, 5.5-minute drive in the first quarter and had 3 first downs on that drive. They've had 1 first down since. And after the 1-yard keeper by Brock Zabe, SC out of this timeout are 2nd and 9 from their 32. 3:41 left in the first half. It's a happy homecoming at Bonhomme High School in Tyndall. The Cavaliers lead Stanley County 36-0. 2 receivers right, that's the wide side, and 1 to the left. Zabe in the shotgun on 2nd and 9 from his 32. Paxton Deal in motion from right to left. Fake to him, hand to Brady, nothing there. Line of scrimmage, that's all. They're waiting again for Colton Brady, and it's Chapin Cooper who's been on a lot of plays on defense.
For no gain.
No gain. And here's 3rd and long again for Stanley County. 3rd and 9 from their 32. They're only 1 of 7 on 3rd down. And Bonhomme, 3:13 left in the first half. With thoughts, well, it's going to be at the worst for them, a running clock, unless Stanley County can come up with a big play, a running clock in the second half. 3rd and 9, SC from their 32. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Stop. It's Zabe rolls right, sacked again. He tried to cut upfield, but is brought down.
Goes flying in for
And hits 35. Back at the 25, I should say.
For the Buffaloes.
Saba in on the sack. Loss of 7.
Deal back to punt for the Buffaloes.
And in punt formation is Paxton Deal. Well, when these kids, these freshmen are playing good football in 2 or 3 years, they can look back to this game and say, remember what we learned from what happened in Bonham in 2022? Here's a ball that gets past Winkler. He's not going to return it. He slipped and fell. And it's down by Stanley County at the bottom 38. Winkler was ready to receive it, and then he slipped. This field, by the way, is in fantastic shape. I believe we said that when we were here last year, too, but it's in just wonderful shape, considering the lack of rain that's happened in this part of the world for a few years. Spotted at the 37. 2:10 left first half. Bonham is leading by a score of 36-0. That's a 38-yard punt for Paxton Deal. So Bonham, Rothschadel, the quarterback, got a little bit of rest during the last series. He's already accounted for 4 scores in this game, and the snap is back to him. He rolls right, little bit of pressure, but now he throws long down the middle, going for Barris, and it's incomplete. Little in front of him, and good coverage, too, by Chase Hansen down inside the 20-yard line of Stanley County. But
Hansen on the coverage.
The other thing about Rothschadel is he has pretty good arm. He flicked that ball down inside the Stanley County 20 from about his 35. Clock frozen, 2:01 first half. Bonham 2nd and 10 from their 37, leading in this game by a score of 36-0. Rothschadel in the backfield, receiver split each way. Quick throw right, caught by Winkler, 45, first down to his 49.
Pass to Winkler, complete. Pick up
Barrett Schweitzer with the tackle, but Bonham moves the sticks again.
Schweitzer on the tackle for the Buffaloes.
To the 49 of Bonham for a gain of 12. First and 10. 36-0 Bonham, so it looks like the game will not end at the half. It takes 50 to do that, but Bonham may not get there. You never know. It's 36-0 now. Receiver split each way. Swing pass right. This is Mutter, caught at midfield, 45, 40-yard line.
Pass to Mutter, complete.
And down to about the 36 of Stanley County or so for a first down.
Schweitzer on the tackle. And that's another Cavalier first down.
So Mutter had a wide receiver spot after he played a little bit of quarterback earlier in this game. And Stanley County has seen Bonham do a lot tonight. First and 10, Stanley County 36. Rothschadel, a little bit of pressure for him. One tackle broken, another tackle broken, 35-30. Riley's on the run now, cuts right at the 20, to the 10, he's going again. Goodness me, Rothschadel broke 2 tackles in the backfield, scrambled for another score, his 5th in the first half. Bonham's lead is now 42-0. And Rothschadel, that's the scramble of scrambles, but it ends in a touchdown. I think we can just send the T-shirt down to him now. Isaac Crownover with the extra point. It's on the way, and it's good.
Crownover's point after.
A minute left in the first half. We'll take 1 minute here. Bonham now leading Stanley County 43-0, and we're back in 60 seconds. 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Is your truck or fleet insurance a one-size-fits-all approach? The commercial line agents at Fisher Rounds & Associates know that each company fleet, owner-operator, or ag producer has unique coverage needs. We understand all the risks and liabilities, so we can create a customized policy that ensures you are fully covered. We're at your service, at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving your truck insurance needs with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, and Watertown.
It's pretty obvious the world is moving faster than ever, and that means my health sometimes takes a back seat. Pressing pause on life to call for an appointment, shuffle my afternoon schedule, drive across town for a doctor's appointment sometimes feels impossible. My day just got better because I'm feeling better with the help of Avera Now. I can use my mobile device or computer for an online video visit that allows me to see a provider for urgent care conditions 24/7. Technology that fits my life. The with the quality health care of Avera. Learn how to begin at avera.org/now.
63-yard drive in 4 plays. Took just a minute 1. The last 36, quite a scramble by Riley Rochedo for the touchdown. His 5th of this first half, 2nd rushing. 43-0 Bonhomme, a minute left in the half. Crownover's kick from right to left is short and turns right and goes out of bounds. So Stanley County, no doubt, will choose to take it upfield. So there's something that's positive for Stanley County because very little has been otherwise in this first half, which has a minute left. And as expected, Stanley County chooses to take the ball at their 35-yard line. So Stanley County, only 41 yards of offense. And that total actually was more than that on their 5.5-minute drive in the first quarter that ended in a turnover. Brock Zabe under center, 1st and 10 from their 35 for the Buffs. Straight handoff, a little dive play up the middle, and a yard at the most for Barrett Schweitzer.
Carry up the middle. Tackle for no gain by Saba.
Jackson Saba in there. They'll spot him at the 35 for no gain. 42 seconds, should be one more snap, and that'll be it for the first half. So we will at least start the third quarter. But Bonhomme has a 43-0 lead. Stanley County is set to receive the second half kickoff. You look for any little consolation at this point, but it's been absolutely dominant by the Bonhomme Cavaliers, who will be 3-1. 2nd and 10 for SC from their 35 with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Under center is Brock Zabe. And a stretch handoff. Brady shrugs off one tackle, but is brought down for a half yard at the most. And once again, yet another play by Chapin Cooper.
Cooper on the tackle.
And they'll give him no gain to end the first half. That Stanley County will not remember fondly, but the Bonhomme Cavaliers will. Special teams touchdowns everywhere. They had a blocked punt, a kickoff return, a punt return. And oh yeah, Rochedo with 2 touchdown runs and a touchdown pass. We are at the half in Tyndall, and it's all Bonhomme. The Cavaliers lead the Stanley County Buffaloes on the Wagner Auto scoreboard by a score of 43-0. Wagner Auto, it's the one place to go. South Dakota's oldest auto dealer. They've been in Pierre since 1908. Our halftime comes your way in 3 minutes. We will look at stats and, again, another look at what's happening in high school football tonight. Back in 3 minutes with our halftime from Tyndall. You're listening to High School Football on 1060 AM and 103.1 FM KGFX.
Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre can help you with preconditioning home-raised calves for fall. Let Sioux Nation show you how preconditioning can be beneficial for increased weight gain, improved feedlot performance, reduced feedlot sickness, and improved sale price. Vaccination programs using Vista Once, Bovi Shield Gold One Shot, and Pyramid 5 pre-spawns. Also, Ultrabac 7 Samboac. See Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre for the newest technology and latest products for preconditioning your calves for increased profits from your herd.
Yesway customers can now experience fun at a whole new level with Allsup's brand products like hearty and delicious world-famous Allsup's burritos and Allsup's chimneys. Allsup's brand products now available at Yesway. Yesway. Say yes to convenience.
This fall, take some time to think about your future. While the leaves make their way down to earth and the last sunset of summer leaves us with an autumn chill, it's time to grab the nearest foam finger and break up a face paint. Rush the stands with First Dakota National Bank and forget how to blink. Fall sports are back with jaw-dropping plays, an electric atmosphere, and epic scores. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
Now you can book flights from Pierre Regional Airport through United.com and American Airlines. If traveling to Denver, schedule your flight at DenverAirConnection.com. Plus, the morning flight is at 8:20, allowing you to connect to the majority of continued flights. Avoid the crowds, enjoy free parking, and no driving when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 50 passenger jets and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Flip your loan, lower your payment with great rates from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. This is Jody. Now is the time to refinance your vehicle or recreational vehicle with rates as low as 2.3%. Plus, no payments for 90 days and $75 cash after finalization. Come see us on North Garfield Avenue at Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
Homecoming is very happy for the Homme Cavaliers, well on their way to being 3-1. They have a 43-0 lead over the Stanley County Buffaloes at the half here in Tyndall. I'm David Burrow. Our studio coordinator is Trinity Pearson, and we're glad to have you with us. A recap of what was an amazing first half for Homme, especially with their special teams. We'll do that after we pause for station identification.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, 1060 KTFX Pierre. Rebroadcasting on K276 GT 103.1 FM Fort Pierre. Put the phone down, focus on driving.
For the second time this season, Riley Rothschadel started the game with a kickoff return for Homme. In the very first play of the Cavaliers season, he ran back the opening kickoff 86 yards, turned up to be a 46-0 win over Kimball Whitelake. Well, on the very first play tonight, he ran back the opening kick 83 yards for a score, and it was 7-0 Homme after the extra point conversion. Then came Stanley County's big drive. They had a 26-yard pass on this drive from Brock Zabe to Chase Hansen. In fact, they had 3 first downs on this drive, but it ended in a fumble. And Homme took only 3 plays to score, the third of those being a 62-yard touchdown pass from Riley Rothschadel to Logan Winkler. And with 4:56 left in the first quarter, it was already 14-0 for Homme. Stanley County, their next drive went 3 and out, and then came a punt from Paxton Deal in his own territory. Nobody blocked off Logan Winkler. He blocked the punt and then ran it in for the touchdown, and then a 2-point run by Rothschadel, 22-0 for Homme. Stanley County couldn't do anything on their next drive, and then Rothschadel struck again, this time with a 73-yard punt return. Extra point made it 29-0 for Homme, just over 10 minutes left in the first half. Later, Rothschadel again, and this was a 1-yard keeper that ended a 69-yard drive, 36-0 Homme with 4:39 left in the half after the extra point. And then the last touchdown was really something by Rothschadel. Broke 2 tackles. Looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss, but a 36-yard scramble for his 5th score that he was a part of in the first half. Extra point again by Isaac Crownover, who went 5 for 5. 43-0 Homme, and that is where we stand at halftime. And Stanley County, after having 3 first downs, as we mentioned, on that one long drive, they had only 1 more in the remainder of the half. That first drive, by the way, for the Buffs, covered 43 yards. They ended the half with a total of 41 yards, -2 on offense for the Buffs since that opening drive. Homme 201 yards, 82 yards passing, rushing, 119 passing for the Cavaliers. For Stanley County, 17 rushing, 24 passing, 9 first downs for Homme, 4 for Stanley County. Just one penalty each way for 5 yards. Stanley County 1 of 8 on third down, but 2 of 3 on fourth down. Bonham hasn't gotten the third down in this game. Here's another number that just sounds strange, but it's just because there were so few snaps. In fact, I could listen to this. The score is 43-0 Bonham, but because of all those special team scores, Stanley County has run 16 more plays. Bonham has run only 14 plays from scrimmage in this game. Stanley County has 30, and the Buffs had the ball 17 minutes and 46 seconds in the first half. Bonham only 6-14, but the special teams have done the job for the Cavaliers, and Bonham's defense also had 3 sacks of Brock Zabe. Riley Rothschadel, 55 yards on 4 carries, the 2 scores for Bonham. Isaac Crown over 2 carries, 15 yards. Jackson Saba, 2 carries for 12. Rothschadel was 3 of 4 passing, 89 yards, and the 62-yard touchdown to Winkler. Easton Mutter, 2 for 2 for 30 yards. Winkler, 3 catches for 85. Chapin Cooper, 1 for 19. And Mutter had 1 catch for 15 yards. Stanley County, only 17 yards rushing in that first half, as we say, and Barrett Schweitzer with 16 of them on 3 carries. Colton Brady held to 12 carries on 7 yards. Chase Hansen, 4 carries for 2. Brendan Bothwell, 1 carry early, but it was a 4-yard loss, and Brock Zabe with -9 on 8 carries, counting those 3 sacks. Zabe was 3 of 7, 24 yards in the first half, and all 3 of the catches by Chase Hansen. Well, Stanley County knows they will receive the second half kickoff, and we know there'll be a running clock. We also know this: Stanley County will want to advance the ball and score to prevent Bonham from having the chance from ending this game early. But again, the chances of this being a 4-quarter game, you'd have to say at this point, are somewhat remote. One game has been completed today involving a Central South Dakota school. It's Sunshine Bible Academy. Well, at least they scored today. They've been shut out in their first 3 games, but today went no better for the Crusaders than their first 3 games had gone. They fell at home to Great Plains Lutheran by a score of 52-7. Nothing else, of course, has gotten underway yet among Central South Dakota schools. About 20 minutes from airtime on River 92.7 for what should be a great game at Hollister Field at Phil Trotner Stadium in the Pierre Governor's homecoming. They're 3-0, and they host 3-0 Yankton. Oh, man. Lincoln Keenolz and Rugby Riken, 2 outstanding quarterbacks. Brian will have some fun with that one on River 92.7 at 6:25, and see it at the River 92.7 page. Chamberlain is at home to Belfouche in 11A on KPLO, 6:30. Darren will be, and is, in Wessington Springs, as Miller Highmore Herald plays Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Mobridge Pollock in Aberdeen to take on Ron Colley at Dakota Bank Stadium on the Northern State Campus. 6:30, Andy will have that one in Star 99 in Mobridge. White River in 9-man football at home, but with a very tough test against second-ranked team in 9A Wall. Platte Geddes, who this Bonham team plays next week, is at home to Viborg Hurley. Lyman not playing this week. The 5th-ranked Raiders in 9A go to Wall for what should be a tough one with the Eagles next Friday. Top-ranked Gregory is at home to Irene Wakanda. Phillip at 2-1 plays at Dupree. Jones County is at Timberlake this evening. Sully Buttes 4-0, ranked 5th in 9B. They play at Cologne. Potter County will try to break their 3-game losing streak as they play at Langford area. The Battlers are 1-3. Harriet Selby area, the top-ranked team in 9B, potential for a very good game in Ipswich. Tigers are 3-1. Of course, the Wolverines are 3-0. Big Daddy himself, Dave Williams, will have that game on 100.7 KMLO coming up at 6:30. And Faulkton area is at home to Northwestern. And the Minnesota Twins are about to get started in Cleveland against the Guardians. Twins won yesterday, Cleveland lost, so they're within 4 games. But this is a 5-game series coming up, and realistically, to have a hope of catching the Guardians, the Twins are going to have to win at least 3 out of 5 and probably 4 out of the 5. We'll pick this series up. Don't forget, it's a day-night doubleheader between the Twins and the Guardians tomorrow First game 11:30 a.m., nightcap at 5:30 here on 1060 103.1 KGFX, and then 11:30 a.m. on Sunday and 11:30 a.m. again on Monday. Minnesota Vikings play Monday night, going for the 2-0 start for the first time in 6 years. It's the Eagles in Philadelphia on Monday night, 6:30 on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO, and 100.7 KMLO. Second half, we'll see how much of a second half there is. Stanley County wants to make sure there is much of a second half as possible, but it's all Bonhomme. They're leading Stanley County at the half on the Wegner Auto scoreboard by a score of 43-0. Wegner Auto, the one place to go. We will come back and bring you the second half of tonight's game. We return to Tyndall in 2 minutes on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
For reliable, safe, efficient, and economical electrical work, call Ferding Electric. Ferding Electric staffs licensed, knowledgeable electricians to help you with all your electrical projects. New construction, rewires, or upgrades, residential or commercial, Ferding Electric knows how to get the job done right. Call Ferding Electric at 224-8684. Stop in at 2903 East Elizabeth, just off the truck bypass. See Ferding.com or find them on Facebook. Ferding Electric, licensed electricians, quality service, and dependable products since 1956.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Well, Stanley County just wants to extend this game. That's what their goal is now. Let's see if they can have a good drive to start this second half. Bonhomme leads by a score of 43-0. The second half kickoff is brought to you by Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre. And this time it's going to be Chapin Cooper to do it for
Cooper to kick off for the
Bonhomme.
Cavaliers to start the third quarter.
Stanley County back at their 10 have Chase Hansen and Barrett Schweitzer. Stanley County will move from right to left in this third quarter. Sunny, a little hazy, mid-70s. Lovely early evening here in Tyndall, but not lovely for Stanley County. A Bonhomme team has dominated thanks to Riley Rothschadel, their excellent athlete at quarterback. So here we go with the second half. Bonhomme in their home cherry red with white numerals and Columbia blue trim, kick from left to right. Stanley County white tops, purple numerals and gold trim, gold pants with the purple and white piping on the sides and white helmets. Cooper's kick bounces at the 18-yard line to Schweitzer. At the 20, left 25, brought down at the 30.
Schweitzer on the return.
Good ankle tackle by Jackson Saba again. And he's made plays on defense and plays on special teams, too. So the third quarter begins, and Stanley County hopes for more than one possession in this game. They're down 43-0. Of course, so the rules say it's a running clock in situations where it normally would not run, so the clock keeps running all the time while this first play from scrimmage of the second half is being set. First and 10, Stanley County from right to left at their 30. Left hash wide side to the right. Under center is Zabe. Stretch handoff Brady. Breaks one tackle, not the second, and 30. Did fight forward for a yard to his 31, but four different Cavaliers touched him. And Jacob Kuka was the last one to do so. A yard for Colton, who has been held down tonight after his big game last week.
On the tackle, pick up for 1 yard, brings up second
down and second down and 9 for Stanley County from their 31. Schweitzer, they're just handing it off up the middle again.
Up the middle.
This time it's Barrett Schweitzer. But that stop made by a freshman, Luke Guthmiller.
Luke Guthmiller.
Guthmiller made the stop.
Catches on the tackle. Brings up 3rd and 5 for the Buffaloes.
So now, Stanley County has a 3rd and 5 from their 35-yard line. Just underway in the third quarter. Bonhomme in control, leading 43-0. 2 minutes are gone in the third. Hansen, a slot right, but it's a bunched formation. They run out of the I backfield. 3rd and 5 from their 35. Play fake. Brady. Zabe with a roll right. This one's caught by Blaze Frost. Inside Bonhomme territory near the 46-yard line, and Stanley County has a first down.
For the Buffaloes right at midfield.
Jackson Call made the stop, though, spotted right at the midfield stripe, but a good strike there from Zabe DeFrost. That's a 15-yard gain, and Stanley County has first down number 5 right on the midfield stripe. I mean, the outcome is no longer in doubt, but Stanley County wants to drive and score here. Down 43-0, 3 minutes gone in the third quarter. Under center is Zabe. Brock, stretch handoff. Brady, a little room for him, well, not a lot, as he gained 2 or 3. Guthmiller with the stop. He had a little bit of a hole, and then Guthmiller came in at the side to stop him.
On the tackle for the Cavaliers.
Gain of 3 for Colton on his 9th carry of the night, but only 16 yards for Brady. 2nd down and 7. Stanley County's at the Bonhomme 47. One very good drive early that ended in a turnover. But the story has been Riley Rothschadel for Bonhomme. Punt return touchdown, kick return touchdown, passing touchdown, 2 rushing scores. 2nd and 7, Stanley County at Bonham's 47 with 8:20 left in the third. 43-0, Bonhomme on top. Under center, Brock Zabe. Long count. And a little counter play on the second man through. Forward
Hansen
to the 46 is
corner.
Hansen on a little reverse.
Guthmiller on the tackle.
And again, Luke Guthmiller, the freshman, getting a chance to play.
Pick up a 1 yard, brings up 3rd
and holding
for the Buffaloes.
Chase Hansen to a gain of a little more than a yard. Call it 3rd down and 6 for Stanley County at Bonhome's 46. 7:45 in the third. 43-0 Bonhomme. Stanley County converted that last 3rd down in the second quarter. They're 2 for 9 now tonight. 3rd down, 6. Stanley County at Bonham's 46. Run out of the I again. Wing to the right. Pitch right to Brady. Around the corner, 45. Forward to about the 41. But that's about all because an ankle tackle
22. Brady on the carry.
was able to stop him.
Zomer on the tackle for
Schumann?
the
No, it
Cavaliers.
was
Brings up
Caden
4th and
Zomer.
2 for the Buffaloes.
Good play by Caden.
At the Cavalier 42.
Left him a yard short at the 41-yard line of Bonham. It's 4th down. Well, the Buffs have been 2 of 3 on 4th down tonight, and they're 4th down and a little more than a yard here. 6:55 in the third. 43-0 Bonhomme. Zabe under center. Again, run out of the I. Nothing fancy on this drive, and Zabe just takes it up the middle and easily has the first down across the 40 and near the 37-yard line of Bonham.
Zabe on the quarterback.
Good push there by Brock Zabe. Back all the way to the 36-yard line of Bonhomme.
1st and 10, Buffaloes on the Cavalier 36.
So a couple of first downs on this drive that has just about taken up the first half of this third quarter. Of course, running clock because the lead is so big. White River comes to Ole Williamson Field next Friday night, 6:30 here on KGFX. It's homecoming. That homecoming parade, of course, is next Friday afternoon in Fort Pierre. 1st and 10, Stanley County. Bonham's 36. Handoff Hansen. Breaks one tackle, tries to cut to the left. Breaks another tackle of call, then lost the ball, and it's picked up by Bonham. Right, Peyton Nielsen.
On the carry.
Second turnover of the game. The hit by Cole knocked the ball loose.
1st and 10 on their own 36.
And now Peyton Nielsen has it at the 36-yard line of Bonham. 5:39 and the clock runs in this third quarter. Now Bonham knows this. a touchdown and a conversion, and they can wrap this one up early because they're ahead by a score of 43-0. And as they did earlier, they bring Easton Mutter in to play quarterback. From their 36, I should say, 1st and 10. Pitch right, and here is Guthmiller now on offense, looking for room, but really none
Brady on the
there.
tackle.
As Colton Brady made a good play there to
On the carry for the Cavaliers.
bring down
Loss of one
Guthmiller for a
1
loss of
yard,
a yard, back to the
second and
35.
11.
Good play in defense there by Colton Brady. So with the running clock, Stanley County had the ball over 6 minutes. They've had the ball over 24 minutes in this game. But all the special teams touchdowns. Bauman Lumber, our player of the game in our post game. I think you know who that is already. It's a pitch right, and a further loss is a good pursuit. Jackson Call was the carrier, but the pursuit was made there very well
Tyler Lieberman on
by
the
Stanley
tackle.
County's Tyler Leiferman.
He brings up 3rd and
Now it
14
is
for the
back
Cavaliers.
for Bonham at their 32-yard line, 3rd down and 14. Mutter runs them out of the eye. They've got backups in there. Here's a play fake, and Mutter is rolling to the left. Now just runs, trying to avoid Zabe. He is back to the line of scrimmage. Here's 40-yard line, but that's going to be short of the first down.
Baldwin on the tackle for
Baldwin
the Buffaloes.
able to make the stop.
Brings up 4th and 5 for the Cavaliers at their own 42.
Gain of 9 yards. 3:35 left in the third quarter, and Bonham will keep the football for a moment, but probably go into punt formation here because Chase Hansen is backing up. Well, maybe not. They'll keep the offense on the field, but you've got younger players in here. This isn't rubbing it in by any means. These guys got to have reps too. Snap back to Mutter. Guthmiller with the handoff, brought down with a good play to grab him at the line of scrimmage by Nathaniel Nelson. Able to fall forward for a couple as Guthmiller, but Stanley County is going to have the football back.
Nathaniel Nelson
As
on
the clock
tackle.
runs with just under 3 minutes
Turnover
left
on down.
in the third
Football
quarter
ball, 1st and 10
at the 42-yard line of
on the Cavalier 43.
Bonham. It'll be 1st and 10 for Stanley County. So a good job by the Buffalo defense there, and they'll have the football back. That clock keeps running. The second half probably will go quickly. 2:38, 43-0 Bonham on top. Brock Zabe under center. And a handoff to Brady. Left side, tries to cut to the outside, 40-yard line. Taking Cole and a couple with him. Down to the 36-yard line of Bonham. Good strong run by Colton Brady, who now
on the tackle
finally
for
may
the
be
Cavaliers.
getting his sea legs. Well, he has a little bit of room.
Pick up about
More than he had in the first half.
yards,
Gain of
brings
about
up second
6.
and
He'll make it
4
second
for the
down and
Buffaloes
4. Good
at the
run there by
Cavalier
Brady. We're down to 2:05 in the third quarter. Again, big game starting in just a while at Hollister Field at Phil Trotter Stadium in Pierre. Homecoming as Pierre hosts Yankton. Bryan about to get going in about 5 minutes or so on River 92.7. It should be a terrific game. Both teams 3-0. 2nd and 4 here for Stanley County at the Bonham 36, down 43-0 to Bonham. 1:42 left third quarter. Zabe under center with Hansen a wing to the right. Pitch to the right to Brady. Wants a block for Schweitzer. Around right end to the 30, 25, 20-yard line. Still going as Hansen inside the 15 and out of bounds.
Colton Brady on the carry.
Brady it is with the sweep and a good carry for Colton.
Sherman on the tackle for the Cavaliers.
Forced down the bounds
for the
by
Buffaloes.
the senior Cohen Sherman, but
1st and 10 on the Cavalier 11.
that's all the way down to the 11-yard line. It's a 25-yard gain for Brady. And it's 1st and 10 for Stanley County, as the Buffs are trying to dent the scoreboard. Bonham leads 43-0, but Stanley County putting another good drive together. Run out of the eye. Schweitzer dotted by Brady. Zabe under center, 1st and 10. Bonham's 11. Handed to Brady. Up the middle, little bit of room. 10, 8, maybe the 7. And in a
Brady on the carry up the middle.
sea of red there. Jackson Call again in at the play for Bonhomme. In fact, they'll give him the 6-yard line for a gain of 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Buffaloes.
Down to 23 seconds left in the third quarter, for most of which Stanley County has had the football. Running clock, of course. Let's see if they run another play. Looks like they won't before this third quarter ends. Through 3 on the Wagner Auto scoreboard in Tyndall. Bonhomme 43, Stanley County nothing. Wagner Auto, the one place to go. The fourth quarter from Tyndall in 1 minute on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Competitive pay, check. A rewarding and fun environment, check. And best of all, caring for residents and being a part of an amazing team. Check and check. Hi, this is Kim Bradley from Edgewood & Pierre. We are looking for more dedicated healthcare heroes to join our team. Do you know what makes working at Edgewood so great? We provide care in a fun working environment where you will experience a warm welcome from our amazing team and residents. Come work for a purpose. Give us a call at 494-3400 to learn more. Edgewood, where home and healthcare meet.
On Monday, cross country, host Derby at the Tyndall Golf Course.
Yes Way Rewards members not only get savings on in-store items and cool free stuff, they also get savings on gas, including an instant fuel discount upon registering. Join now at yesway.com. Yesway. Say yes to convenience.
Country runs up at last.
Stanley County looking to punch it in. They started this drive at the bottom 42. They're now down to the Cavaliers 6, where they're 2nd down and 5 to start the fourth quarter. Now from left to right, so they'll be at the end too, all right, although they're huddling way back at their own 25. Bonham's going to win. They lead by a score of 43-0. Riley Rothschadel, the senior quarterback's had an unbelievable night. Opened the game with a kickoff return for a score, had a punt return for a score, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a passing score to Logan Winkler, who also, Winkler did blocked a punt and ran it in for a score. But Stanley County's trying to score here. 2nd and 5 at the bottom 6. Wing left is Hansen, Zabe under center. Whoop, whistle's going to stop play. We've only had 2 penalties in this entire game. And Case Colda, the freshman, is coming off the field. They might have told him to do so because of some sort. He has his hands outstretched. He looks fine. It must be some sort of equipment issue, so Nathaniel Nelson will come back in. And then we'll get this fourth quarter started. Buffs lost here last year in what turned out to be a tight game, 21-18. They scored in the fourth quarter to make it a one-score game and had the ball at the finish, you may remember. 2nd and 5 here at the Bonhomme 6. Counter play, Brady around right end, 5 down to the 2. Close to the first down. Looks like it's a little bit short of the first down. Cash Richardson, I should say, not Brady. Remember, the freshman had a touchdown.
Nelson on the tackle for the Cavaliers. The first and goal on the Cavaliers.
In
for
DeSmet.
the Buffaloes.
They will give him the first down. It's 1st and goal just outside the bottom 1 yard line as the Stanley County Buffaloes try to get on the board. Zabe hands off to Schweitzer up the middle. He has the touchdown.
Schweitzer on the carry up the middle. Touchdown for the Buffaloes.
Barrett Schweitzer has his 2nd rushing touchdown this season to go with his 2 receiving scores. And Stanley County, 48 seconds into the fourth quarter, is on the board, trailing now by a score of 43-6. Good drive there, goes 42 yards in 5 plays.
Brady to attempt.
Colton Brady will try the extra point. The holder is Chase Hansen. Schweitzer will snap it back. Snap good, hold good. The kick, a lone line drive, but it's good.
It's good.
We'll take a break. Stanley County's on the board, but still trails Bonhomme 43-7 with 11-12 left here in Tyndall. And we'll return in 1 minute here on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre has cover crop seed for your fields. Cover crops hold soil in place, prevent the leaching of nitrogen from fields, help lower expenses by reducing the need for nitrogen fertilizers and pesticides, improve productivity by increasing the fertility and water holding capability of soil, and make soil more resilient. Sioux Nation has cane, common vetch, lentil, millet, oats, radish, rape, Sudan, and turnip seeds for use in cover crops, or they can mix your custom blend for you. Call Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre, 223-2427.
Avera Health Plans, we know your egg business is vital to South Dakota, and affordable health insurance is essential to running that business. As your health insurance partner, we'll help to lighten the load of managing these expenses in an uncertain market. We're dedicated to rural health care with extensive preventative care services that are good for communities. We'll work with you to create a plan that's both affordable and effective, so your employees have the coverage they need when they need it. You don't have to wait. Call your agent or get a quote at averahealthplans.com/save.
Stanley County is likely assured that this will be a fourth quarter game. A 5-play, 42-yard scoring drive in 6:32, ending with a Schweitzer 1-yard score in the extra point. 43-7 now for Homme. And Tyler Leiferman from left to right will kick off. Expecting a short kick, the deep men are at the 27, and it is a kick to Cole. It is 41 to the 43 to midfield. Jackson calls into Stanley County territory at the 45-yard line.
Jackson Cole.
Yeah, they knew a short kick was coming.
Out to the Buffalo 45.
And Cole did a good job there to bring it back into Stanley County territory at the 45-yard line. Hayden Rogo made the tackle. So
on the tackle for the Buffaloes. Got their ball first.
Bonham starts in Stanley County territory at the 45-yard line. Clock runs again. 10:37 to play. Bauman Lumber with our player of the game in our postgame. Case Zomer is split wide to the right. Now he's going to come the other way as it's still Easton Mutter at quarterback. Guthmiller and Call are two men wide to the left. Guthmiller now in motion. Mutter takes the handoff up the middle. Wrapped up. Nice play. Noah Baldwin for a loss.
Mutter on the keeper up the middle.
Mutter couldn't go anywhere because he was right in the arms of Noah Baldwin. Call that a sack.
11 for the Cavaliers.
Because it's a loss of a yard. First sack of the game for Stanley County. At the 47, it's a loss of 2 yards. Very good play by Noah as he wrapped him up immediately. Second down and 12, Bonham, Stanley County's 47. Handed off Guthmiller, and again it's Baldwin to wrap him up. Two excellent plays in a row for the sophomore.
Baldwin on the tackle.
This young man, remember, played some last year too and started to make plays in the latter half of the season. He's just made two good ones right here. Maybe about a half-yard loss. Statistically, no game for Bonham, who now sets up 3rd and 12 at Stanley County's 47 with 9:15 left. Bonham will win it. They lead 43-7. Munder under center. Easton with a fake and now a roll right. Now he's being chased by Richardson. Breaks away for him from bat left on the scramble. He is back to the line of scrimmage and then hit pretty hard as he crossed to the 44-yard line
Mutter scrambles
of Stanley County.
3-yard gain brings up 4th and 9.
It was Richardson again able to
Cavaliers.
make the play. And somehow Mutter pretty good job to make 3 yards out of that. So 4th and 9 for Bonham at Stanley County's 44. We're down to 8:35 left in this one. Two receivers left and one to the right as Bonham keeps their offense on the field. Shotgun here for Easton Mutter. Here comes some pressure, and a throw over the middle is intercepted. Stanley County has another pick. A short throw, and this one is taken in by Blaze Frost. And Stanley County has yet another interception with 8:09 left, and the clock runs. This one is by Blaze Frost. Stanley County will set up at their 41-yard line. $7:51 to play in this one, and Stanley County has the football back. For the Buffs, that is now 6 interceptions this season in their 4th game. +1 in their turnover ratio. 6 of their 7 takeaways have been interceptions. 1st and 10, Stanley County. Buffs are at their 41. They have the football back, down 43-7 to Bonham and Tyndall. A little bit of trouble in the snap. Zabe is able, however, to
Bourne picks up the fumble.
move it forward after it was dropped. Q Bourne was the one who picked it up, and he's actually able to move forward for a couple.
Nielsen on the tackle.
It was made by freshman Peyton Nielsen for Bonham. Gain of 2. 2nd down and 8, Stanley County. They're from their 43 with 6:52 to play. Zabe under center. No, it's Weston Prince, I should say, at quarterback. And Weston's able to hand it off. And a couple of yards to Spencer Anderson, the junior, 5'10", 165-pounder.
Sims on the tackle for the Cavaliers.
So youngsters getting to play
Anderson
here now.
On the carry, brings up 3rd and 6 for the Buffaloes.
Spencer gained a couple to his 45. So Weston Prince, the freshman, 5'10", only 130 pounds, in at quarterback. Barely see him as he goes under center. 3rd and 6 from their 45 for Stanley County. Toss sweep left, Cash Richardson, another freshman. 49 midfield, good hit. Brings him short of the midfield stripe. Little toss play left
on the carry
to
around
Cash
the corner.
Richardson, and
Jackson Call.
good hard hit there by Jackson Call, who's had a pretty good second half.
Brings up 4th and 1 for the Buffaloes right at midfield.
Just short of the midfield stripe, Stanley County with a 4th down and a yard. Playing, of course, they'll keep the offense on the field. We're down to 5:40 left. Don't forget our Bauman Lumber player of the game in our post game. Bauman Lumber also brings you video coverage at the KGFX page of the DRG News app and at drgnews.com. Weston Prince under center. Worked down a little over a yard on the midfield stripe for Stanley County. Prince with a delay handoff and brought down at midfield, and that's going to be short.
Richardson on the carry up
Is
the middle.
Cash Richardson.
Deacon Ashes on the stop. Turnover on downs. Cavalier ball.
And Bonham will have the ball back and see if they can run out these last 5 minutes. Call the 49-yard line of Stanley County. Clock will be stopped for a moment with 4 minutes and 51 seconds left because Bonham has taken a timeout. We'll take an Agtegra timeout. 43-7, Bonham leading Stanley County. 4:51 to play here in Tyndall. And we'll return in 1 minute here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
This fall, take some time to think about your future. While the leaves make their way down to earth and the last sunset of summer leaves us with an autumn chill, it's time to grab the nearest foam finger and break out the face paint. Rush the stands with First Dakota National Bank and forget how to blink. Fall sports are back with jaw-dropping plays, an electric atmosphere, and epic scores. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
Now you can book flights from Pierre Regional Airport through United.com and American Airlines. If traveling to Denver, schedule your flight at DenverAirConnection.com. Plus, the morning flight is at 8:20, allowing you to connect to the majority of continued flights. Avoid the crowds, enjoy free parking, and no driving when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 50 passenger jets and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Frost.
Good first down carry on a keeper by quarterback Easton Mutter.
First down.
Blaze Frost able to bring him down, but not before Mutter gained 10 yards to the Stanley County 40. 4:24 left. Bonham will win it. They're up 43-7 over Stanley County. Buffs 1-3 before their homecoming game next Friday against White River at Ole Williamson Field. Jackson Call motion from left to right. Easton Mutter takes the handoff on first down and goes to Luke Guthmiller. He is across the 35-yard line, down to about the 33 of Stanley County.
Guthmiller on the carry right up the
ran
middle.
into Cash Richardson. But a good first down gain for the
on the
5'9",
tackle.
150-pound freshman of 7 yards. 3:50 to play. tell you about the rest of Bonham's schedule here in just a bit. As we mentioned, it's Platte Gaddis next week. Again, I wouldn't want to play these guys late next month. Call with a handoff around right end. 30. He has a first down. He's near the 27 or 6 of Stanley County. Call's had a good second half on both sides of the football. Spotted at the 26.
Rogo on the tackle for the Buffaloes.
Hayden Rogo in on that play.
Cavalier first down.
After Bonham, after Platte Gaddis for Bonham, then they host Chester area, but the last two are tough. They're both on the road, Parkston and then Gregory. Well, I'll be very curious to see what this team does. 3-6 a year ago, but they're going to have 3 wins officially in here in just a few minutes. Handoff on the left side. This is Jackson Call trying to cut around the left corner. But it's pulled down on a nice play by Kelby Olson after a gain of only about a yard to the 25-yard line of
for the Cavaliers.
Stanley County.
25.
Good play there. Kelby Olson, the sophomore, 5'9", 125 pounds. As we say, and you've all the buffs you know, freshmen and sophomores all over this lineup. Second down, about 9 for Bonham at the 25-yard line of Stanley County with 2:22 to play. T backfield, and the handoff to Guthmiller. 21-yard line. Blaze Frost in on that play. And it's just running the clock out now, which is
brings up 3rd and 3 for the Cavaliers.
Something neither side's going to complain about. Came down to the 20. It's 3rd down and about 4. We're down to 1:58 left. We'll go over stats and name our Bauman Lumber player of the game in the post game. But again, should have already sent the T-shirt down to the senior quarterback of this team. 3rd and 4 at the 20-yard line of Stanley County, and through right guard, 16 down to the 15 goes Caden Zomer, the freshman. Looks like he has it. Need at the 16. He has the 15.
Rogo on the tackle for the Buffaloes.
And Rogo in on another play. Gain of 5. We're down to 1:22 left, so maybe another couple of plays. Bonham will improve to 3-1. Stanley County will be 1-3. 1:10 to go. Of course, it's been a running clock in the second half since it was a 43-0 Bonham lead at the half. Roll right by Easton Mutter, the quarterback, now trying to run around right end of these to the 10 near the 5-yard line before he's chased out of bounds. But that clock, of course, will keep running. And pretty good scrambling ability there by Easton Mutter. In fact, he does have the first down at the 5. First and goal. It was Landon Bain that was chasing him down. 34 seconds. So should be one more play. And they'll just kneel down. That's classy there by, well, you would expect nothing less from a pretty classy coach. And Byron Pudwell, who's been with this program since its inception, he just said, look, we don't need to do any more. Let's get this over with. And the Bonham Cavaliers, behind a dominating first half performance from their senior Riley Rothschadel, made this one a no-doubter early on. And the final score here in Tyndall on the Wegner Auto scoreboard, the Bonham Cavaliers 43, the Stanley County Buffaloes 7. Wegner Auto, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer in Pierre since 1908. Stay tuned for our Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg post-game. We'll run down the stats and we'll name officially, but I think you know who it is already, our Bauman Lumber player of the game. We'll come back with our post-game from Tyndall in 2 minutes here on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino from the App Store or Google Play. It only takes a moment, so you'll have it to replay this game. See live and archived video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota high school sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino. Download it now at the App Store or Google Play.
Flip your loan. Lower your payment with great rates from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. This is Jody. Now is the time to refinance your vehicle or recreational vehicle with rates as low as 2.3%. Plus, no payments for 90 days and $75 cash after finalization. Come see us on North Garfield Avenue at Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
The team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg are devoted to spending time with each patient to answer all questions and address any concerns that arise. Family Dental wants all their current and future patients to feel welcome and comfortable and to have the healthiest, best-looking smile possible. They can take care of all your family's dental needs with cleanings, checkups, implants, same-day crowns, and many other dental services. Dr. Ryan Jensen welcomes new patients. Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg, caring for all your family's dental needs.
The Bonham Cavaliers had an amazing start and just kept it going all through the first half, led 43-0 at the half. They win it by a score of 43-7 over the Stanley County Buffaloes here in Tyndall. And this is the Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg postgame. An 83-yard kickoff return by Riley Rothschadel started this game in just the right way for Bonham. It's the second time this season that Rothschadel has started the game with a kickoff return for a score. Stanley County then had a drive of 5.5 minutes, had 3 first downs, but lost it in the last play of the drive on fourth down, officially a turnover. And then the next time Bonham had the ball, Rothschadel found Logan Winkler for a 62-yard touchdown, and just over midway through the first quarter, Bonham had a 14-0 lead. After Stanley County couldn't move the ball on their next possession, Winkler blocked a Paxton Deal punt and returned it 15 yards for a touchdown. 2-point run by Rothschadel. Who else? 22-0 Bonham. Then, after Stanley County again went 3 and out, another Deal punt didn't work out for Stanley County. It was this time because Rothschadel returned it 73 yards for a touchdown. 29-0 Bonham with 10:16 left in the half. Later in the second quarter, Rothschadel struck twice more, ending a 69-yard drive with a 1-yard touchdown and a keeper, and then an amazing scramble with a minute left in the half for a 36-yard score, and after the conversion, 43-0 Bonham. That was the halftime score. Second half went quickly because of the running clock, but Stanley County able to put the points on the board in the fourth quarter in a drive that bridged the end of the third and the start of the fourth. The 42-yard drive ended in a Barrett Schweitzer 1-yard touchdown run, his second rushing touchdown of the year, to go with his 2 receiving touchdowns, and then the extra point by Colton Brady. But all Bonham otherwise as they beat Stanley County by a score of 43-7. We might as well do this before we give you the stats of tonight's game. We'll name our Bauman Lumber player of the game. I know there's no suspense, but we're still happy to give the T-shirt, and we'll tell you officially who that is in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials and affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road, Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
And nobody else that our Player of the Game award could go to than Riley Rothschadel. 4 carries, 55 yards, 2 scores. 3 of 4 passing, 89 yards. The touchdown, the 62-yarder to Winkler. But he had the 83-yard kickoff return to start the game for a score. He had a 73-yard punt return for a touchdown. 211 all-purpose yards for Riley Rothschadel. Quite a night for the Bonham Cavalier, who was our Bauman Lumber player of the game, and the T-shirt will be on his way to him. And other numbers in this one for Bonham individually, 30 yards rushing for Easton Mother, 15 for Isaac Crownover. Mother was 2 of 3 passing, 30 yards. Colton Brady ended up having a pretty good second half, 57 yards for the game on 13 carries. Barrett Schweitzer, 5 for 21, and the touchdown that we mentioned, Cass Richardson, 3 carries for 10 yards. Brock Zabe, 4 of 8 passing tonight, 39 yards. He was sacked 3 times. First 3 catches were by Chase Hansen for 24 yards, and the freshman Blaze Frost had the last one for 15. The numbers skewed quite a bit because, first of all, the running clock, but second, all the special team scores. Bonham did outgain Stanley County 252 to 126, although Stanley County ran 47 plays from scrimmage to Bonham's 30. 13 first downs for Bonham and 8 for Stanley County. 133 yards rushing for Bonham, 119 passing. 87 yards rushing for Stanley County, 39 passing. 13 first downs for Bonham and 8 for Stanley County. Just 2 penalties in the whole game, 1 for 5 yards for each team. Stanley County did turn the ball over twice, losing fumbles, but they did have another interception by Blaze Frost, the 6th interception for the Buffs this season. The turnover ratio is now even. The weird number, and that'll happen in games like this, is time of possession because of all the special team scores and more plays for Stanley County. They and the running clock in the second half. They had the ball 33 minutes and 36 seconds in this game. Bonham only 14-24. Stanley County 2 of 11 on third down, 3 of 5 on fourth down. Bonham only the third down 3 times, made once. Fourth down they were 0 of 2. Stanley County 1 of 2 in the red zone with a touchdown. Bonham 2 of 3 in the red zone with 2 touchdowns, 3 sacks by Bonham, and 1 for Stanley County. Well, of course, action still to get underway on the stations of the DRG Media Group on River 92.7. It's Pierre at home for homecoming to Yankton, of course, and other action too. First, we got to tell you the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety celebrates being part of the team. They remind you to buckle up every trip, every time. Miller Highmore Herald at Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. That game's in Wessington Springs, and that's about to get started on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO. Harriet Selby area in Ipswich, and what should be a good one, unbeaten Wolverines against 3-1 Ipswich. That's on 100.7 KMLO. Watch any of these games at the respective station pages. And it is Mobridge Pollock playing Aberdeen Roncalli at Dakota Bank Stadium in Aberdeen. That is on Star 99. Twins are back here on KGFX tomorrow for a day-night doubleheader with the Cleveland Guardians. Again, the 5-game series is beginning tonight, and the Twins really need to take 4 out of 5 at least. 11:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. for Twins baseball tomorrow here on KGFX, then 11:30 a.m. on Sunday and Monday also from Cleveland. And Vikings football is on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO and 100.7 KMLO on Monday night from Philadelphia. It is the Vikings and the Eagles airtime. 6:30 as the Vikings will try for a 2-0 start for the first time since 2016. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you to keep your eyes on the road, not on your phone. Our thanks to Athletic Director Dan Aker and all the good folks here in Tyndall for being so hospitable to us once again this season. We've enjoyed coming here 2 years in a row. High school football on 1060 AM and 103.1 FM KGFX is brought to you by Avera St. Mary's Hospital, First Dakota National Bank, Yesway, Sioux Nation, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Pierre Regional Airport, Access Health Fort Pierre, Fisher Rounds and Associates Insurance and Real Estate, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Ferding Electric, Edgewood Healthcare, and Venture Communications. And these in-game sponsors help bring you high school football also here on KGFX. Potsdam Agency State Farm Insurance, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Montana Dakota Utilities, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre, Agtegra, Family Dental up here in Gettysburg, Bauman Lumber, and Wegner Auto. Don't forget, next Friday, 6:30 is the airtime from Ole Williamson Field, when, for homecoming, the Buffaloes will host Stanley County hosting the White River Tigers. Thanks to our studio coordinator, Trinity Pearson. I'm David Burrell. Here tonight in Tyndall, all Bonham. The Cavaliers behind the big game from Riley Rothschadel in the first half, accounting for 5 scores, had the big first half lead. Stanley County getting on the board in the fourth quarter. Bonham takes it. The final score one more time on the Wegner Auto scoreboard was Bonham 43, Stanley County 7. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend and good evening from Tyndall.